Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. The market is something, right? It can't make up its mind. It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. We got a lot going on today. We are going to talk about that very pattern or lack thereof. We're going to talk about a very interesting close yesterday. We picked a tough day to not do not the close show because there's a lot going on into the close. A lot of interesting forces at work here on the show today. We have earnings, we have some Fed speak, we have some lockup expirations. We'll talk about that. We have some rebalancing. We'll talk about all of that coming up right now on pre-market prep. This is pre-market prep with Joel Elconin, Dennis Dick, and Spencer Israel. Good morning, Mr. Elconin. How you doing? Dennis Dick is functional, but it appears he doesn't have internet this morning, is what he has texted us. Joel, I don't know if you know more than that, but that's the text that we got.
He got up at 4 in the morning to trade. He was
40 minutes.
trading.
Yeah.
Yeah. These kind of when you have these kind of actions on the close, he probably had 847 positions. So he got up. He was trading. Internet goes down. He
What time?
calls Rogers.
Yeah.
Spends 45 minutes with them. The person
got
told him
up,
it's their problem, his problem. It's on his end. And he's like, no. He hangs up. He calls back. Calls another person. They go, oh, it's on our end.
So he still doesn't have internet.
He still doesn't have internet. I don't know if he's trying to trade off his I don't even know he can't trade off his iPad if he doesn't have internet. I don't know.
I mean, if he has Wi-Fi or if he has data, I don't know. But yeah. So Dennis will join us if and when he gets internet today. I don't know if that'll happen, but it doesn't matter because we got a lot to talk about on the show. As I said, earnings, rebalancing, lockup expirations, a ton going on. Yesterday was a very, very interesting day for the markets. But first, Joel, let's recap the overnight.
Let's run things down.
Let's
Okay.
go through the overnight session, and then we'll talk about yesterday.
I mean, the day might be over. I mean, holy mackerel. You see the big spike down. This is on the close here. Made a new low on the close, right? And then just bounced right back. So that artificially depressed close is 66 and a quarter. Man, oh man, I wish we would have seen that in the pre-market trade. Got to 71.50, turned around. We hit 46.28.75. If I had something up there for you, I'd be lying. Yesterday's intraday high is up at 44 and a quarter. Crude bouncing back up 233 at 68.51. That's helping your energy sector. Gold trying to get over 1,800, but we're struggling again. Got over it yesterday, but couldn't close above it. Up $11. Silver up a dime at 22.91. Bitcoin futures are down $1.30. Got a little trading range between 55 and 60. Ethereum, the crypto that doesn't stop, heading back for the all-time high, up $35.25 at 4726.75. Folks, those are the futures I quote. So I don't know if anyone calls me out because it's different than the cash market, but I like to look at the futures because the day doesn't end at 11:59:59. It ends at 5:00.
That's true. All right, so that was the overnight session. But now let's talk a little bit about yesterday, Joel. It was it was a down day. Basically everything in the red with one notable, impossible to ignore exception. And if anyone knows any reason why Apple was higher yesterday moving against trend against the entire market, please let me know because I don't know. Joel doesn't know. There may not even be a reason, but what is up with Apple here?
It's not the Apple cloth.
I don't even know. You keep saying that. I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what that is? I bet you our chat does. It's a polishing car. It's a polishing thing that they get. No, I'm searching. I'm searching everywhere This thing was just an absolute beast yesterday. I guess you said something about iPhone.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple headlines about like iPad sales in Europe and like iPhone sales in China, but like for Apple to move, like what was it up
Whew.
yesterday? What was it up yesterday? 3%?
Oh
Up again this
man,
morning. So it's
it's
I, I yeah. Nick says because he doesn't own it. I don't know. I mean, it's just like when's the last time, Joel, we saw like every major tech stock, big or not just that, basically the entire market almost trade down, and Apple moved that hard against it.
I
It
I I I, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we'll get some. I don't know. Maybe we'll get some news today. I mean, people are talking about rotation. Maybe just getting out of getting out of everything and everyone rotating to Apple. I don't know. I mean, it's above. We're gapping above our all time high here. We're up 290. The former all time high was 165.70. That's going to be support. If you ever thought that would be crazy, pre-market high is 68.65. I don't know, 170 on the mind. I mean, I really I don't know what to tell you. It's just a incredible move, and it was pretty much strong from the open. But we should probably let it be known that I've officially changed. It's not Pump and Pal anymore. I've officially changed my nickname for him,
okay, okay.
Pessimistic Powell.
Pessimistic.
Yes. Do you know what he did to the market yesterday with one statement?
I
I
was
don't ever seen one statement,
I was watching.
one word
Yeah.
wreck the market like that guy did.
What?
This is it. When he said the market was chopping around, we're
Yeah.
up or down, we're up, down. But when he said inflation, retire the word transitory, that was it. Katie barred the door. I mean, if you want to look at the exact time, it was on the 11 o'clock bar, and everybody, that was just every algo in the world hit that market. And that was the bar that you had right there. And a lot of other things went on during the day, but if you ask me, I
Yeah.
mean that was it. No longer transitory. Supply chain is not easing. We're going to have to meet tomorrow to raise interest rates. Uh, you know,
I don't know.
I'm surprised he didn't announce like a half point hike right on, right to the Senate committee right there. I mean, that was unprecedented. But
Yeah,
that's what.
it's also interesting, Joel. That he said that he said, "Hey, okay, we're gonna stop using the word transitory. We're gonna retire that word." And he said that when he said that a week after he got renominated. It's like as soon as he knew his job was secure. Oh yeah. I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. No, obviously he's got a basically impossible job, but like that they've kind of screwed the pooch on this one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely,
I mean,
definitely. So,
I feel like it would have been better if they had just come out and said like, yeah, this might suck. We don't. This is gonna suck. We don't know how long. But they like tied themselves to this whole transitory temporary thing, and now they're telling us no, never mind. It could go on for a while. It's like, dude, people feel like we haven't seen this kind of inflation since when? It's been like 20 years, 30 years. I mean, they kind of screwed the pooch on this one, I feel like.
they also he said inflation persistent into late 2022, which is was a big change. So,
Fantastic.
um, yeah. So that's what
Fantastic. Yeah,
that
but
that's what rocked us. And then wow, what a close of
yeah.
closes.
So
What a great day to Emily need me to take her to the airport. That's all I have to say.
So let's talk about that, Joe, because we had an $8 billion sell imbalance into the close yesterday. But that is not the only factor that caused movement, because we also had the semi-annual, and my fault for not even realizing this. We had this semi-annual MSCI index rebalance. This happens twice a year, and that caused a number of crazy moves
Yeah.
into the close yesterday. Not in everything. Like it's not like every stock being added went higher and every stock being removed went lower, but it did cause some action. So SoFi, for example, you have them on the screen. SoFi was added to the MSCI Americas Index as of yesterday's close / today's open. That one did move a little bit, but and that was sort of that actually was one of the bigger ones. But if you look at just like the volume bars at some of these stocks that we'll tell you about at the close yesterday, an insane amount of volume at at the closing print.
I don't I mean, they have to do it, they have to get the closing print. I mean, this one was at I mean, they're so tricky to play. This one was
Yeah.
added and it went down. So what that means is that the indexes that it was coming out of, they had to sell more than they did to participate in the new index. But once again, shoot, I mean, I got a 15-minute chart up there on top. It dropped and then, you put your orders out there, immediate rebound. What are some of the other ones?
ENTG is and this one actually did move off it. ENTG, Integris. Um, that one actually moved pretty
Yeah,
significantly.
there's 2 ways you could you
And again, that's being added. These are stocks
wow.
being added to. And for those people who don't know what we're talking about, um, index companies like MSCI, like S&P, they create these indexes, basically these measuring sticks, these groups that include certain stocks, right? So the S&P 500 is your top 500 stocks in the US, for example, right? Um, and they have to update these indexes every so often. It could be quarterly, it could be semi-annually, it could be once a year. Um, MSCI, which is I don't know the second third largest index provider in the world, updates their indexes every year, twice a year. And so what that means is if you are a fund manager that has a fund that tracks one of these indexes that is now changing, you have to make changes in your fund so that you are doing what you say, which is copy what the fund is. So if the index is changing, your fund has to change, and the index change is reflected as of yesterday's close, which means if you have one of these funds, if you're the manager, you have to go and buy the stocks that they're adding and sell the stocks that they're deleting, and it can create some funky movement, especially into the close. Like ENTG yesterday, you can see that chart. Pull it back up there.
And
Um,
that was added,
and,
right?
and that was added, right? That's what I'm saying. So it can do some weird stuff. Is my point?
Right, and then what it is and the reason you see something like this with the ENTG is because whatever it was coming out of, they had to sell more than they had to buy to go into
Right.
the MSCI. Um, I don't play these a lot. Triple D does, and
Yeah.
what he does with these stocks is he won't chase the imbalance because this way. If you were chasing the buy imbalance, right, and you were buying it into the close, you got absolutely railroaded. What he likes to do is he likes to see what the reaction is, right? He likes to fade whatever the imbalance is. So I don't know. This is a pretty thin one. I don't know if he traded this one or not. But he would be there, trying to, be a buyer. Whatever the imbalance is, the thing is to fade it.
Yep.
But the way these things are, and coming in and out of the indexes, it used to be a lot more straightforward. If it was being added, it popped up. If it was being taken out, but now with with all the different indexes and ETFs and everything, and there's people that that's all they do is study this stuff for 6 months
Yeah.
ahead of time. But what else? What else do we have besides ENTG?
And again, but again, the thing is though, like a lot of them didn't really even move off it. ENTG was a big one, but you had Lucid, LCID being added to and these are stocks being added to the MSCI USA index, which
Okay,
is a pretty widely followed index. Um, Lucid, but didn't really move. Affirm being added, kind of moved a little bit into the close, a little bit, right?
yeah,
Coinbase being added, not really, right? Nuance, NUAN. If you look at that close, that had two very interesting candles there.
jeez,
Yeah,
bad. Yeah, but that
yeah,
was a little bit,
and
a little
and
bit
and that's
tighter
also a
range.
stock that's being taken over. So like,
Yeah, that
it's not
our
everything.
Arbs are like
Right,
scratching their head on
right,
that
right,
one.
right. And then you had like Zoom Info, ZI, which dipped into the close, being
Oh, hang on.
added, right? Uh,
Oof, tricky.
Yeah, very, very, and then Upstart, same story. Basically, all the stocks being added to the MSCI USA index yesterday, dipped into the close. Go figure. It's not always that cut and dry, but and
Yeah.
very difficult to play.
Well,
Um,
I just want to talk just real quick about the S&Ps here and what it did like on the close. Let's see, let's go back to 4 o'clock yesterday. I mean, here you are, 15 minutes. I don't know how much that happened, but they just last couple minutes they pounded. They made a new low for the session. There's probably some selling balances and on big stocks within seconds of the mark, it was 10 handles higher. And then by the time they wrap things up for the at 5 p.m., that's why I call it the LAHP, the last after hours print. That was at 85.80. That was 20 handles. If you were selling into that close in the spoos, you're like, oh, this is the weakest close ever. We're going to be down 100 tomorrow. Holy mackerel. Before you could even cart it up, the thing was 10 handles and then 20 handles against you, and now it's almost 60 handles against you. So wow, what a fade on the close! Unbelievable price
yeah,
action.
yeah. All right, so we got a lot of earnings here, so
Let's go.
let's move on to the earnings parade. Let's start with Salesforce. This is the big one overnight. Someone in the chat was just asking, like, Salesforce, great quarter, and it opens down. What's going
Oh,
on? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the story here, right? Is it unfortunately it's not always as simple as, oh, earnings beat, stock up, earnings miss, stock down. In this case, Salesforce did report a good quarter. Their EPS came in well above estimates. Their sales came in above estimates. They gave a lot of guidance, right? They raised their revenue guidance for fiscal year 22. Um, and even though it was a raise, it was still in line. It was a smidge above estimates there. They gave some Q4 guidance that was like okay. It was basically in line, if not maybe a smidge on the light side. They gave Q4 sales and a Q4 EPS guidance that was fine, like not like bad, but fine. And they even gave sales guidance for fiscal year 23.
wow! How the
Yeah,
heck do they know that far
it's a
out?
great question, Joel.
Man, oh
You
man.
on the one hand, you have a company like Peloton saying we have basically no idea what's happening with our business because the supply chain is so screwed up. On the other hand, you have Salesforce saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to give you sales guidance going out 2 years, not 1 year,
Well, I
but
mean, I guess that they have contracts with people, right?
sure,
I
yeah."
mean, I guess
So
you could base it on that.
the bottom line here is if you stack up Salesforce against their a lot of their peers, this report did not knock anyone's socks off, which is one explanation for why it's trading down this morning. To make no mistake, this is not a bad report. It just wasn't like knock your socks off amazing either. You know, so
I'm not gonna go. I'm just gonna go long term here on this
yeah,
one. The big move yesterday, right? Street leading the right way into the port, really since the whole month of November. If I wanted to buy this stock, and if I wanted to, or if I was short, I think I would hold out for 260.37. And the reason is that you had a big gap up day. You're actually at the top of that gap. You snuck below it a little bit, but I don't know. A lot of downward momentum here. Is this thing going to turn right back and go to 295? Yeah, it could. But I'd wait for this gap fill, the consolidation, and maybe a little turn. That's what I'm looking at. I mean,
all right,
right now though, there's not a super. I mean, they're not. There's a patient, but right now there's a patient buyer at 265.
yep.
They might be buying more at 260, but I'm looking for a gap fill today, next couple days. 260.36 is the exact gap fill on that.
All right, and then compare Salesforce to a stock like Box, which had earnings last night. Also a cloud play. Their earnings per share beat for last quarter. Their sales beat for last quarter. Their guidance for the current quarter beat. Their sales for the guidance for the current quarter beat. Their guidance for the fiscal year beat. For EPS and for sales. And on top of that, they announced they increased their buyback to $700 million. So basically, they beat across the board and did a buy and raised their buyback, and the market likes that. So you know, and of course, Box has not been nearly as strong
Ox.
as
Oh, man.
Salesforce, right? Salesforce has
We
been
have.
a massive uptrend. Box not so much. So
Hmm.
what were expectations, perhaps?
Well, if you were trading this in a pre-market, I mean, it spiked lower, but then it came back up through this area, quad top. You guys know how I like multiple highs and lows in the same area. So if you feel like you missed this one, you want to be patient. Maybe wait for it to come back down to 24.50. I'll call it 24.40. You had four highs in a row, old resistance, new support. Can't make it any easier than that. Haven't quite got to 26 yet. Sure looks like it might give it a try. So I would look at 25.85 if you want to target here. What's the pre-market high? Pre-market high 25.90. There's a good level for you. If you want to blow through 26, if it has the mojo to go through 26, there's a lot of people waiting to get their money back on November 17th. This thing peaked at 26.38, closed the day at 25.75, and has not seen that level ever since. So see if you can take out the pre-market high. If you're looking for more, 26.38, good for you. After that, I don't know. You're on your own, coming back on the downside. Be waiting for that 24.40, 24.50 if I'm being patient. I'm not chasing it though, up 214.
Here's one that it probably had a high bar because it's had a massive year. Amberella,
Oh yeah.
stock's been on a freaking tear, and it's still going.
Ho!
I know, right? So the earnings last night for AMBA, 57 cents per share versus a 49-cent estimate. Sales of 92 versus $90 million. They guided Q4 sales above estimates as well. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't have seen I wouldn't have seen this one coming because again, it's already had a massive run this year, into the if not for the past few weeks, but or past month, but definitely like through the entire fall, really. Um, yeah, just a massive year and a good quarter and a beat and a raise and we're up now to 207 this morning,
All right, Spencer, I know you know the answer to this.
all time
Let's
high.
No, no, no. No, you can look on the chart to get this has got to be an all-time high.
Yeah, well,
But
yeah.
let's see if Money Mitch knows or anybody in the chat. What one company was
Yeah.
this one tied to when it
Well,
made an amazing run? Spencer, I told you not to
I'm
answer.
not. I'm not saying it's not anymore though. It hasn't been for quite
Not
some
anymore. Heck no, not anymore. Come on, chat.
Yeah.
Someone should know this.
There,
If not, then yeah, they're probably a bunch of you
there was a stock that AMBA was like married to
like married to.
for a while there.
Mitch is
Pick
raising his
me,
hand
pick me.
in the back of the class. All right, Money.
Mitch back in
Go ahead, Mitch.
I'll tell you why, because I actually traded it back when I was in college learning about what? Underlining asset. And it was GoPro. I was looking for the chip in the GoPro, and I said, what's behind the chip? Amberella. And it looks like that relationship split.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's take a look at GoPro here. GoPro, well, $10. It's been that forever. Yeah. No, good call. I mean, that's one thing. At our second educational event, we talked about relationships. Well, it's good to know the relationship, but when the relationship stops working, you got to know what to do. Also, I just want to thank everyone that's been signing up for the event. It's been absolutely crazy. You guys are getting the word on that using BZ10 as a sign up. Go to premarketprep.com for that. But Amberilla, I mean, I how many times have you seen stocks like this? 213.44 is a pre-market high, and you think this can't go any higher.
And then it does.
Yeah. So, if I have no position. If I had 500 shares, I'd have 100 shares out at 213.44 to see if they take me. We back $6 off that. So if you don't get taken, I know Dennis said you don't like to put your orders out there, but hey, this is trading at 207. If someone wants to lift me at 213, I'd even go cheap. I'd go 213.40. See if you get taken out. This is one of those situations where if you don't get to the pre-market high, I can't give you support. I mean, you can look at a couple of these trades here. It could get crazy. This thing could go to 200, go to 195 and turn back. So the only number I'm giving you one on this one is 213.44. I don't think it's a heavily traded option stock. I don't have that platform up, but if someone has the 185 calls, they took a flyer. 200 calls were probably still expensive. they can lock in their profit right now here at 207 and have a free look at the downside. So a lot of dynamics going on for AMBA. Pre-market high 213.44. Who are their peers? I mean, I don't really follow this one,
Oh,
Spencer.
Amberella. Well,
Yeah, that's a tough one.
let's
What
go
does
look.
Pro say?
I'll tell you right now. Pro says chip stocks, basically all of them.
Chips.
Yep. So think of your chip stocks. Think your TSM, your Broadcom, your Intel, your Qorvo, your ON, your Xilinx, your
Okay.
ADI, Micron, AMD, all those names.
Well, we don't need to look at those charts.
Yeah. Okay. So and then there are more though. If you want to look at Zscaler, common theme here in all these names that are higher this morning off earnings is they posted not just above estimates, but they posted year-over-year gains, right? Year-over-year. We know that for some companies, year-over-year comparison is worthless because last year was so messed up. But for a lot of companies that had good years last year, and if you can post gains off that, that's telling, and that's what Zscaler did here yesterday. Their EPS beat, and again up year over year. Sales up year over year. Yeah, I mean, it's just it was a good report basically for Zscaler.
All-time climbing the pre-market high. You just hit that. You really haven't backed off. 370. 372.72. That is the high in the pre-market trading. All-time high. If you want that, if you want a little more meat on the bone, 76.11. That'd be another target on the upside. If you're a little bit of a longer term player and you're saying, hey, boy, I sure wish I would have sold this at the old time closing high, 368.68. Keep an eye on that if you want to get out at the mark, because the highest mark you've ever got on your statement, because after it hit that, 3 days later, it traded down to 28.48. So sell off, not a quiet day yesterday, rebounding back towards all time high. You have to respect that.
Yeah, and then just wrapping up the earnings here because we had a couple more, nothing too notable, just in the way of movement this morning. We had Global Foundries, GFS, which is a new one, recent IPO.
It's not Gordon Food Service?
It's not recent IPO, but a huge company. Their earnings, I just had them up on the screen here. GFS, up year over year, EPS and sales. Stock up, stock higher, but quiet. And then HPE, right? HPE had earnings last night. This one again, value tech. How many times have we talked about all tech except for value tech? HPE is the earnings were good. Frankly, their EPS was higher. Their sales were lower. It was a mixed report, and they gave guidance for the quarter that was a little bit light. And the market does not care about value tech though. So
another quiz for the chat. I don't even know if Mitch is going to know this one.
Okay.
The old symbol.
Wait, but you mean pre-split?
Yep. No, pre-split, like when it was like
blonde. Because now because there's two symbols now. It's HPQ and HPE.
Right.
And
come on, it was an easy one.
Yeah, HPQ. It was HPQ, right? It was. No.
Nope. Long time ago.
Shoot. Oh gosh. I don't know.
Come on, Bill BG.
No, it's not HP, guys. HP is a different company. I don't know, Joe. I don't know.
Come on. It's a little difficult.
Wait a minute.
Not Compact. Come on.
I was going to say that's also a different company. Compact.
Come on. Time's running out. HPQ. HPQ.
Wait, I said that. That's what I said.
No, you said HPW.
No, I didn't. I said HP because HPQ is still around.
I'm sorry, you're confusing me. HWP.
Oh. Yep. All right, that's way before my time. Fine.
All right, this is a dead money stock, 13 to 16. Okay. It has to hold 14 and a half. That's what I'm asking. Okay. That's what they want, dead money.
It is 8:30, Joel, and we somehow have not even talked about any new COVID variants. So I don't know if that's telling or not, or if that's just one more thing to confuse the market.
I'm a little disappointed in Jerry too. I mean, because he says all these different things, and then
Jerry?
Jerry, yeah, because
Jerry?
he says all these
Uncle
different
Jerry?
things.
Yeah.
Okay, transitory, but how can he say that already that this variant is going to have an impact on the economy and the supply chains?
I
I mean, the doctors don't know, and he's saying that he knows. So that was a part of his statement
yeah.
that I don't see a DR in front of his name, so I don't know how he could say that, but
Yeah.
I don't know what it's what. We hear any news on that overnight? Any more
I mean,
cases?
yeah, there's the problem is like the scientific community can't even really agree because again they don't really know because it's so new. So if they don't really know, then like we don't really know, then nobody really knows, and that creates chaos, and that creates a situation here where we have like this morning, for example, everything is basically trading higher, right? And that's how it was yesterday before Jerome Powell got up and raised his hand. Um, so you get these weird situations where it's like we're up, we're down, we're up, we're down. We don't really know what's going on, and there's too many things to worry about, and that creates confusion.
Do you
So
want to go on any of these?
well, there was a stock. Oh wait a minute, what happened to it? It was the biggest gainer of the morning when I checked, like in 2 hours ago. I don't even see it on my thing now. Where'd it go? There was a stock that was up huge. They said that their treatment was like effective against or could be effective against Omicron. But I don't even see it on my movers tool now. So
Yeah, be careful the way you pronounce it because I guess we have a bunch of linguists in the chat, and if we pronounce something wrong, that they're all over us. I don't know if they're robots or what, but don't pronounce that thing wrong. Or
what did
you'll
I?
just get
What?
not you. I don't know if you
Oh,
pronounce. I'm afraid to even say what the new variant is. The way everyone's jumping on you.
all right.
Was it OP
No,
Ocean Pal? No, that's a
don't even
low floater.
forget it. I don't know what.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, if you
Wait,
find it,
no,
let me
no,
know.
no. It may have been. No, that wasn't it either. Forget it. I don't know. Okay. Let's move on here. We have a few more things I want to get to, and then we'll do some ticker time at the end of the show. I promise. We had a great guest today, a really fun guest, but unfortunately he had to cancel late yesterday, so we don't have a guest today. But Joel, I hope we can get him on because it was
We
it,
will. We will.
it was
Don't
gonna
give
be
it
a fun
away.
one. It was gonna be a
It
fun.
would have been a fun one
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Okay. Well, let's move on here to EVs. It's a new month, which means we got some data out from the Chinese EV manufacturers here this morning. I'll run through the list right now. So we have Neo, Li, and XPEV. We'll start with LI because I think that's your biggest gainer this morning. Ticker LI, yeah, it is. And they gave some. I'll give you their data here
Ooh,
for
nice.
November. For November, they delivered about 13.5 thousand vehicles, which was almost double in October. It was almost double
How
October.
many? It was double. It was 10. You said they doubled it.
They delivered 13,485,
Woohoo!
which is
Wow.
about double.
Yeah.
And
Jeez.
and they
Thank you.
projected for the whole quarter 31,000 deliveries for Q4.
Wow. They are.
So hey, double month over month, ain't nothing. Neo up.
Well, let's just real quick. You
Sure.
got to pop to 38. People were waiting for the breakout at 36. There were a couple highs there at 36. So I'll say, okay, use 38 as a target on the upside. If you're looking for more, then you have a monthly high above that. At where was that other monthly high? It was in the 38 handle. No, there it is. Oh no, 39.35. If you get through 38, which I'm a little skeptical about. Next monthly high is 39.35. If you want to short this off the open, you're looking for it to come in. There are probably a lot of people that sold it at 35.90, 36 area. They'd like to get their money back. Doesn't hold 36. I expect to give some of this move back.
We have Neo, which is again up this morning, and they reported a little under 11,000. It was 10,878 deliveries last month. That number was up about 200% from the prior month. A lot of that is due to chip shortages, though, right? I mean, like I know you're scoffing, Joel, but these are companies that are in their early days. So
Good, I know.
yeah.
I know.
So, but
I
again,
know.
so Neo reported also strong month over month and strong year over year. That 10,000 delivery figure is basically double what it was last year. So for the month of November. So hey, they seem like they're coming out of whatever auto supply chip shortage there was, because they seem like they're back on pace here.
Pop over 41. If you were trying to sell at 41, you got done 41.24. You were over 41 yesterday. You went to 41.42. That'd be some targets for me. Above that, you're looking above 42. But this kind of price at, I mean, this is tough price action here. I mean, I don't know how you're trading it if you're a good scalper, but I don't know. Maybe when you get these kind of I mean, I can't even draw a good range on this thing because it just chops. So yeah, I don't know. I'll leave
All
this
right.
one to the experts.
All right, and then if we're talking month over month growth rates, XPEV had the smallest of the three. They delivered 15,613 cars in November. That represents about a 54% increase from October. Though again, it was up substantially year over year. But of the three of leading Neo, Xpeng had the smallest month over month increase in production.
Why doesn't China pick on these stocks?
Well, I think they've got a stake. I think like the government has a stake in Neo, right? They're not going to let that one fail. That's a good question, Joel.
Yeah.
Really good question.
Pre-market high 57.79, a buck away. Why not? Why not hit that? If you're really super bullish, this is the move of moves. Next monthly high comes in at 60. Top of yesterday's range you can use as support. Wow, street for a pretty bad day. They were looking for some good numbers here. 55.40. That was the top of yesterday's range. You could easily see that. But I mean, do you think like we should like how many of these companies like a year from now when we're doing the show on international satellite, um, like how many of these companies are going to be around in a year or two? I mean, I just that's the only way I look at it. Who are the
Well,
winners going to be?
well, the three we just went through will probably be around in a year or two. There are only four right companies doing EVs in China. It's those three and Tesla, as far as I know,
Okay.
right? So, now in the U.S. there's 50, right? They won't all be around in a year, for
Okay.
sure. But in China, there's way less competition, which I guess bodes well. Plus, the Neo is like attacking the high end of the market, right? Like Xpeng is like the low end of the market, or vice versa, because I can't keep them straight. But they've all been around now for several years, and it's not as if they're in like you know massive like all time
Okay.
lows, right? So whatever. And then on the EV front, just on the U.S. side, keep an eye on Ford here because Ford is supposed to give an update on their EV stuff timeline. I think on Friday.
I I
They're
know we got a lot of people like Fords in here,
yeah.
and what I just have to say is, as long as this thing stays above 19 bucks, I'm extremely bullish. That's a level. What you hit yesterday, you hit 1903. You bounced up to close at 1916. So there holds under 19. Then it gets. I'm not going to worry about this low right here at 1872. But under 19, that's just a lot of air for Ford. So 19, good to go. GM, I saw. Man, that thing got whacked. Or I did DM direct message, but let's do GM. That thing got whacked. Ugh, I don't know. Maybe come down 58.91 up a buck 04. Maybe I buy it at 56 on the way down because I missed it on the way up when I had these three highs right here and then busted through it. That was a nice move. So GM coming back down after making a new all-time high.
All right. And then one more thing I had, and then we can do some ticker time. Is I just want to put Robinhood on everyone's radar.
The hood.
The Hood. The Hood has a big time lockup, their last lockup expiration today. As of today, every single share held by insiders at the time of the IPO is eligible for trading, for selling. I think I saw like half a billion shares are getting unlocked today.
But that doesn't mean anybody's selling one share.
It does not mean anyone is selling or has to sell. It just means they can sell if they want to. That's
I'd be careful on this one. I would be careful on this one. I'll say two things. One, if this doesn't have an update today after the release of the lockup, then I don't want to give any price targets on the downside. If it goes down and gets killed again today and the insiders are bailing at this level, I don't know where this thing's going. I mean, you know what I'm going to say about this one, the fifth day of that it's trading. I don't know, how did they get to sell so early? Did we examine that? Why did these people? Because was it a direct listing or what was it? Why did they get to sell 5 days afterwards?
Wait, was it a direct listing? I'm
No, I don't. There was something. Why could they sell like that?
I have to Google it. No, I don't think. No, it was
Same
not.
thing. You know what? And man, that was a tip. Same thing happened. I don't know. People don't want to hear about GoPro, but back when this thing made its all-time high, somehow J.P. Morgan let the owner, like a big shareholder, like do a sale. And it was before the lockup period. I think I wrote an article about it maybe 100 years ago on Seeking Alpha. But it was like and that stock never saw the light of day after that. I think what was their names? The people that
Wait,
GoPro.
GoPro?
Yeah, this happened. I
Oh.
think you were still at Maryland, Spencer, when this happened. What year did you graduate Maryland?
2013.
It was after that. I don't know. Where were you working at? Macy's? Because it was
Joel. Who can say? I've been all over the world and back again.
the world.
The world.
Where have you worked outside the U.S.?
Nowhere yet.
Okay. All right.
Robinhood's IPO price, for those wondering, is $38 a share. So we're
obviously 32 and a
low.
quarter. Yeah, we'll see what happens today. I mean, if you're short this thing and you're looking for a big lockup, sell on the open. You better get it on the open. Double bottom right now as we speak, 25.75, 25.81, but you could have said, wow, look at this support at 34. Boom. Oh, look at this support at 32. Boom. So we'll see. We'll see if what a horrible performance, man, off the IPO. That got reddited, right? Ran up and just came right back down.
Yeah, it's The timing of the Coinbase and the Robinhood IPOs, they were coming off like the best quarters of their lives. Not that they could have known that was going to happen. They couldn't have known that was going to happen, but that's how it happened. It's just so interesting.
Down 7 cents, not doing much in the pre-market. I mean, you had a week tape ahead of it, and then and then the lockup. So pretty big expiration. I bet you those people that sold at 60, 65 are whistling Dixie after seeing this in the 20 handle.
Yeah. A lot of people in the chat have feelings about the stock. So leave it at that. Okay, so it is 8:45 here. We've got 15 minutes. I've basically covered the extent of all the things I want to discuss today. There's a few more things, like we have some big earnings tonight, but we can cover that out on the At the Close show.
How about Twitter? What about Kathy?
Yeah, she's never frowning because she's averaging downing.
No, wait. Is this her first plunge into this?
No.
Are you sure?
Let me check.
Okay, I don't know.
Let me check. I would be stunned if yesterday was her. Because
I don't remember her. I don't follow it like the way you guys do, but seems to me I haven't heard Kathy buying.
She bought 1.11 million Twitter shares yesterday. That is not her first buy.
No.
Heck no. No.
I had a theory on this yesterday, and Triple D shot me down on it, so I'm just gonna keep it to myself for now.
Okay.
The reason Jack's gone, but
gosh,
we'll discuss it. We'll discuss it later.
You know what? We should keep an eye on Twitter for the next few weeks because, it's not all. Obviously, it popped off the headline of Jack leaving, but like sometimes these catalysts take longer to play out. and can be the catalyst that changes trend. I'm not saying it's going to be, but like keep an eye. I'm not going to fret about this one for the rest of the year.
Can you believe this thing traded $53,
Yeah.
53.20
Pretty wild, right?
on that? 53.20. Someone bought that up too. And because Jack was resigning. And then the street told you what they wanted to do. The street told you what they wanted to do with this news, because after it hit 53.20, let's go back here. I should have this on my chart. After it hit 53.20, right? This is it right here. What did it do? This is what it did in the pre-market, okay? After it hit 53.20, it couldn't do any better than 52 in a regular session, right? This is the regular session. And then I don't know when the halt was. There was a halt in here somewhere. And then at the halt, I think it was like right in here, 10:30:11. So after the street told you that after it hit 53, they hated it. They told you they hated it from 52 to 48.5. Then it comes out of the halt and it goes up to 50.
Yeah.
And now makes a new low for the year. I mean, new low for the year. So my number for Twitter, 44.40. That was your low, believe it or not, in January. That thing closed the year, I think. Where did it end? I mean, this thing is down for the year in the greatest bull market of all time. It ended last year at 45.81, went to 80 and change. I don't know why. And now you're getting a reset on the yearly low. I'd keep an eye on 44.40.
Seriously, end of February, early March was the top for damn near everything. A lot of stocks topped out. It was euphoric.
Which was it? Was it pins? The pins, yeah, pins.
Joel, a lot of them. And basically, if you have a stock that is not currently at or near all-time highs, chances are it topped out in February or March of this year. It was just that was the topping event for all these growth things. Crazy for Kathy, for all of it.
ARKK.
Yeah. Steph T is saying, she's down 15%. Steph T, we can't tell you what to do with your Twitter or anything for that matter. I would just say in the grand scheme of things, 15% is, not that bad. I don't know how much pain you can take. If you can take more pain or if you can't take more pain. Only you can answer that question. Dennis, has survived by cutting his losers. Joel too. I've survived by being diversified, so 15% doesn't kill me. But we can't tell you what to do. I hope though if you don't know your risk tolerance, then you're flirting with disaster.
How about Jumia? I used to call it Jumia. Look at that.
Jumia. I mean, holy cow! We had them on the show back in like May or June, and gosh, that was 100% ago. More. I mean, it's been a disaster. It's been a disaster for all these growth names. So I don't really know what to tell you.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, it's just
please consult your own investment advisor.
And if you don't, if you're like waiting for someone to tell you what to do, then there are people out there that will tell you what to do. There are people out there that will tell you buy this now, sell that now. That will only get you so far. It's like feed a man a fish. Wait, what is it? No, wait, catch a man. Catch a man.
I believe, Spencer, you're getting as senile as me. If you give a man a fish,
thank you.
He can eat for a day. If you give a man teach him how to fish, he can live however. And that's what we're going to do on December 11th at 9 a.m. to 12:30. Dennis wanted to do that extra half hour because he could just talk for 3.5 hours. But that's what we're going to do. A little bit different than the other ones. We're going to talk about tape reading and order execution, kind of the old arts of trading and surviving in the markets. But, all right, what do we got, Spence?
I just butchered that, but I did put the link in the
Thank you.
in the chat, and I pinned it to the top, so check it out, premarketprep.com.
Someone wants a dad saying they haven't been very good. They haven't been very good lately.
Haven't been good.
No, let me
Oh no.
see. I still got a lot of them.
All
You're
right.
not gonna. I can tell you're not gonna like this one. Dads love pretending they can't see you if you're wearing camouflage.
Nah.
No,
Nah.
and then the one for today. Dads love saying that's how they get you after
Yes.
declining additional warranty
Yes.
protection.
Yes. Yes. I say that all the time. I say that's how they get you all the time. I'm not even a dad. Anyway. All right, let's do some stocks. I know I asked for a few earlier, so drop your tickers in the chat. We will take a look, give you our thoughts on things. Ba, 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 ba. You want to look at Baba? I mean,
No,
okay. Hey, it's
but I
up
will.
this morning. It's up this morning.
Oh
I didn't realize
man,
that.
it's
I
up
didn't
a
know that.
$1.63.
Yeah.
I tell you, I mean, you talk about instincts. I mean, Dennis dumped half his position at 220, and he got absolutely ridiculed in the chat for it. Then he dumped his other half on this day at like 146, 147, right near the open, and now it's down another. I don't know what to say. You know what? I'm going to go back. I'm going to go out on a limb here,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to say this 130. If you want to risk and I'm not. I don't know if I'm going to do it, but if you want to risk $15, you want to buy this at 130. You want to risk it down to 115. Maybe not. Maybe $10. If you want to go, if you want to risk $10, buy it here at 130. Get stopped out at 120. I think you can see 140. And then the only reason I'm saying that is because I know there's a gap that I was waiting to get filled in this thing, and it's going back to 2000. Let me see. I know it's in here because I remember just like I need to cancel my Tesla order at 40 pre-split. Man, that thing just kept up bumping up against 40, bumping up against 40, bumping up against 40. Huh. What is this going back to? Baba Daily. What is this day here? I'm gonna find this gap. This is 2020. Oh, that's when it was still in the 200s. Hold on one second. Let me go a little bit. I know this was, I think this was, all right, we'll go back 5 years.
Oh, wow, 5
Uh,
years.
yeah,
5
yeah,
years
yeah, yeah.
Baba was $60.
No, I'm getting close to it. Come on, where is it? Oh, could this be it right here? Nope, it was lower than that.
Wait.
I'm gonna find this because I keep talking. Here it is.
Okay.
Nope, that's lower than that. Oh, maybe that was the one I was thinking of. I thought it was closer to like 120, but nope, that must have been it. It must have been this gap back over here. And that was at 130, 130, 135. So anyways, that's just a feel. That's a hunch. It's not investment advice.
I got one, Joel. Can you look at Riot, please? We're gonna have the CEO of Riot Blockchain,
Really?
Jason Les, on Benzinga Live today at 12:15 Eastern time. So tell me what you think of Riot here.
Riot blockchain.
Riot Blockchain.
They're not the one that got all the SEC trouble, or that was Mara, right?
All the SEC trouble is not like it's not exactly what it is. You're right. It was Mara, but they just got an inquiry. It's not as if like the SEC is like banging down their doors or anything. But yes, it was a different company.
I mean, this has gotten beaten up with Bitcoin a little bit. I'm going to take Bitcoin out of the picture. That's in a trading range between 55 and 60. We'll see if that holds. This got back half of the move, right? And it's hanging in there, 38.34. I would say if it could hang in here a couple more days and Bitcoin doesn't get killed, then you could start to work your way up into this area, right? 4108 fills the gap, and then you had the recent high. That's not the all-time high. The recent high, 46.28. So, best case scenario, it gets back, holds 38.50 for a couple days, consolidates, and then makes another move higher. And also keeping your eye on Bitcoin.
I just got a correction on Twitter. Apparently, I'm saying the plural of index wrong. It's indices. Sorry.
There's professor. There's our professors in the chat.
Did I say indexes? Okay, indices. Wait, so is a singular indice? Is the
in
singular of indices indice? How does that work?
index.
Riddle me that, Batman. Let's move on here. Bunch of tickers in the chat. A few people asking, dropping some retailers in there. Did you see Best Buy, Joel? I mean, oh my goodness, Best Buy. What a run it had. It's gone. It's all gone. All those gains from that run, gone.
Yeah, coming back. I mean, do you wait? Are you gonna wait for $100? You know, this low actually 95, 93, and then actually those lows are above 100. Is that right? No, I mean, if you really want to be patient, wait between 95 and 100, or at least wait for it to stop going down and put in a double or triple bottom. They came out and they told you. I mean, here's one thing about these retailers, and I know Best Buy did this, and Dick's did this.
Mm.
They came out with the good quarters and they said, "Hey, we don't know about Q4, right?" So what they do is they give you conservative guidance, right? It's very easy to be conservative guidance. Now the street is taking their word for it and pounding it. But you got monthly support 95 to 100. I mean, it's $5 off the low. I see that hit. Or no, wait, what was the low yesterday? No, it's not $5 off the low. It's that retracement level I had at 103.10. 106.27. If it holds in there a couple more days, close right near the low, you'll probably find some buyers here a little bit on the pullback, but pullback, couple lows in the same area, a couple days of consolidation, and maybe a turnaround. Longer term, though, I'm looking at 95 to 100.
And then I forgot to mention, Build-A-Bear had earnings also this morning or overnight. I did walk past the Build-A-Bear workshop in the mall on Friday, and it was, shall we say, not crowded. I don't know. That's my own personal channel check.
You spiked over 20. I believe this is probably off the print. 104,000 have traded. Is this seller still here at 19? That's the only question you have to ask yourself. 1912, 1927. You get through that, maybe you make a run at 20. If not, I would look some back and fill. The top of yesterday's range, 1721. Oh, you're not too far away from that. You don't want to see this thing go red here. Two closes, 1702, 1706. If you do go red on this and a pair of lows, let's call it 28, 1637 splits the lows from the last two sessions.
All right, it's 8:58. We got time for like one more, and we'll do. Let's find one that is not a usual. Not a frequent flyer. Oh, actually, here. You know what? This is interesting. Do you want to look at eBay? Let's look at eBay because Loco Trader says eBay is at the 200-day moving average on the daily chart. Obviously had a rough couple of days here. But how was was there any news on eBay? Is there, or did it just move with the overall market? I think it just moved with the overall.
Full disclosure, I've never made one trade. I've never made one investment. I don't think I've ever talked to anybody about the 200-day moving average.
Okay.
So it made a low yesterday. What
it.
I don't like is it took out the low from last month. Now we're starting a new month here. So if it can retake the low from last month at 68.28 on a closing basis, then yeah, I like it. But if you want to go on the old red candle, green candle, red candle, green candle, red candle theory, which is probably one of the weakest ones in the book.
I love it.
Then you can go on that one. But I don't like that it took out the low for the month.
You should. I love the theory that goes buy stock on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sell it on Tuesday, Thursday. And then,
I will say Etsy could have a big Q4.
Oh,
you know why?
Yeah,
because Lisa decided to buy gifts for the girls. I don't know. She's in a holiday spirit this year. The girls and Garrett decided to buy him a gift for every day of Hanukkah.
That's a lot of gifts.
So right there, that's 24 gifts, right? And all I know is there are a lot of custom gifts. And I hope Garrett's friend that's listening to the show doesn't tell him. But she got him a pair of socks. No, a pair of pajama pants with a picture of his cat on it. Now, how much that cost on Etsy, I don't even want to look at it,
I don't know.
but I'm sure it wasn't cheap. So for the custom gifts, Etsy, look, just based on what Lisa's spending, looking for a good Q4. From a technical perspective, support, well, it took out the 275, 273.97. It's just the undercut of these lows. If not, you're probably looking at 270 and change.
All right, it is 9:01 again.
Oh, I got to hop. I've been here too long. I'll let you guys go.
God, mind blown. Wow, and he really is gone. Okay, that's all right because I put the link again pinned to the top of our chat, also in the description to sign up for the last pre-market prep special event of the year. It's December 11th, so it's not this Saturday, but the one after that, 9 a.m. Eastern time until 12:30. $99.99 is what it costs. Use the code BZ10 to get 10% off. And again, links abound. Thanks to all of you for hanging out today. Please remember all the information from our show is meant to be used as informational purposes, not for investing or trading advice. I'm going to wrap here, hop off the stream. Live trading with Benzinga, Mitch, Ryan, Junaid, starting at 9:05. This video will end. Redirect to that. I will catch you guys later. Everyone, have a good day today. Stay green. Yeah, yesterday was tough. Let's hope today is a little bit better. We can all make some money.